This afternoon, the Rocky Mount Fire Protection District posted this on their Facebook page. We have a very dangerous situation going on with the high water. A lot of electric services are underwater. Please turn the electric off to your dock until the water goes down. You should think about having a dock inspection after the water goes down. According to the Missouri State Highway Patrol, since 2012, 4 people in Troop F's coverage area have died due to electric shock drownings. Less than 2 weeks ago, on June 21st, a 21-year-old man was shocked by electricity and drowned at the Lake of the Ozarks also. And Saturday, that will mark the 3rd anniversary of the deaths of these two, Alexandra and Braden Anderson, the Mid-Missouri brother and sister who drowned after they too were shocked at the lake. Dock permits at the Lake of the Ozarks are required, but not all inspections are done in the same way. In fact, some aren't done at all. We spoke with local officials about why that is and how you can protect your family from dock dangers.
No other accident scene has ever affected me. I'm on these docks every day, and I check the electric on them. Every dock should be safe.
To this day, it was one of the most horrific scenes he's responded to. Codes official Adam Rohr with the Rocky Mount Fire Protection District responded in 2012 when a 26-year-old woman was shocked by electricity while swimming near a dock and killed in Branch Cove in Morgan County.
Someone lost their life that didn't have to.
Rohr spends many of his days at the lake inspecting docks.
This isn't conduit here.
On average, he's inspecting about 5 docks per day in the area, and officials say that number is on the rise after 21-year-old Marcus Colburn drowned in Osage Beach. He was electrocuted in the water just 2 weeks ago.
I think there should be a law stating that if you have a dock located on Lake of the Ozarks, your electricity should be safe.
Right now, the only time docks are required to be inspected is when their structure is altered or when the property is sold. But not all docks are inspected the same way.
With over 25,000 docks on the lake and half of the area of the lake not being inspected, that right there is a huge issue, especially with electricity on pretty much every dock that's on the lake.
This is a map Ameren, Missouri provides, which highlights in color the fire districts at the Lake of the Ozarks, which will inspect your dock to ensure electrical safety. However, as you see, there are several areas of the map which aren't covered by the participating fire districts. Therefore, dock owners there must rely solely on electricians. The Graveway Fire Protection District is one of the fire departments that does not check docks for safety.
Economic downturn, we're to the point we're struggling now just to keep all of the 7 fire stations that we operate and all the trucks rolling.
The Graveway Fire Protection District covers approximately 150 square miles with about 63 square miles of shoreline. Chief Hancock says not only do funds limit the district with only 9 career firefighters, 9 volunteer firefighters, and 2 chief officers, they can't afford to use someone to inspect docks without cutting base services. That's such as fighting fires, emergency rescues, and running emergency medical services with the ambulance to potentially life-threatening emergencies.
The whole goal is we're here to protect lives and property. It's sometimes a little discouraging when we see areas that we need to move into and financially we can't.
Like Adam Rohr, Hancock believes there needs to be state legislation put into place.
Without some state legislation mandating inspections of docks on a regular basis like we do with vehicle inspections, there's still a lot of these docks fall through the cracks.
The Lake of the Ozarks has been called a vacationer's paradise, meaning the homes they're staying in aren't their primary residences, so they aren't voting in the area. And for places like the Graveway Fire Protection District, that can be problematic in trying to get ordinances passed.
If we're going to do inspections, it requires an ordinance to be adopted. That's not an operational level function. That's the elected officials have to do that. And if the community itself isn't calling for it and they're not willing to put the extra money out to fund something, those things don't happen until something really tragic happens that gets everybody's attention.
You can see that they have used the correct wire.
Hancock and Rohr agree. At the end of the day, it's the homeowner's responsibility to make sure their dock is safe.
Regardless of the permitting processes and the inspections, It still requires the diligence of the homeowner to check their docks, to have them periodically inspected by an electrician and repaired as they're needed.
It's just like whenever you get in your car every day, you decide whether or not you're going to put your seatbelt on. Are you going to have your dock inspected to make sure it's safe for you and others?
Brewer said the most common problem he finds during dock inspections is incorrect grounding. He says there's too many places where the dock needs to be grounded that they just don't see it. Ameren owns Bagnell Dam, which forms the Lake of the Ozarks. They operate the dam under a license from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, which includes managing the shoreline as well as the water and dock permits. Ameren representatives wouldn't go on camera to comment on this topic, but said to get a permit for a dock with electricity, that application must come with this. It's a fire district permit showing you're going through the process of electrical permitting and inspection. And if you're outside of a participating fire district, Ameren says you must then follow their rules. It's rules that you can find on their website, and you have to have the electricity installed by what they call a qualified electrician. On a side note, Missouri does not require electricians or contractors to be licensed on the state level. However, some local governments do require a certification or work to be done by a journeyman electrician. State Representative Mark Parkinson from Metro St. Louis, he introduced legislation this year that was to establish an electrical licensing board, but it didn't go anywhere. Kermit?